my gosh, look at it. So 4.5 centimeters. That's almost 2 inches. Almost, yeah.
Chris Marek's wife, Amy Roloff, pregnant. Finally, Amy is about to give birth to a new baby. Amy Roloff expecting new twin baby. I will explain everything. Today, we are confirming the news that has been whispered about in fan forums and speculated on in hushed tones for months. We are here to tell you the full, incredible story. Amy Roloff, at 62 years of age, is pregnant. And that's not all. In a twist that can only be described as a divine blessing, our sources, who are extremely close to the family, have confirmed that Amy is not just expecting one baby. The journey to this incredible moment was shrouded in the deepest secrecy, and for very good reason. To understand the gravity and the miracle of this pregnancy, we must first understand the immense risks and the profound privacy the couple felt was necessary. The first whispers began, as they so often do, with the eagle-eyed fans of Little People, Big World. Around 8 months ago, viewers on a dedicated subreddit began piecing together what they saw as clues. Fans, one comment. Did anyone else notice Amy in her latest cooking video? She's only showing herself from the chest up, and she's wearing a really loose apron. She also seemed a little more tired than usual, but so happy. Something's different. Fan 2 replying to Roloff Watcher 87. I thought the same thing. And in Chris's last Instagram story, you could see a book on healthy eating for two on their coffee table in the background before he quickly panned away. He deleted the story 10 minutes later, but I got a screenshot. These were, of course, just speculations, and they were often dismissed. A geriatric pregnancy, a pregnancy in a woman over the age of 35, is rare and complex. A pregnancy at 62 is, for all intents and purposes, a medical marvel. It's a 1 in a million occurrence, fraught with potential complications for both mother and child. For Amy, who also has achondroplasia, the risks were exponentially higher. A source very close to the couple, who spoke to us on the condition of anonymity, explained the immense pressure they were under. They were terrified. And I mean, absolutely terrified. From the moment they found out, it was a mixture of pure, unadulterated joy and crippling fear. Amy's first thought wasn't, wow, this is amazing. It was, can I do this? Can my body handle this? Will the babies be okay? The doctors were cautiously optimistic, but brutally honest about the risks. The number of appointments, the specialists they had to see. It was a full-time job just managing the medical side of it. This, our source explains, is why they held the news so close. It wasn't about a big reality TV reveal. It was about protecting the fragile, precious life, or as they would soon find out, lives, that were growing inside of her. They decided they would not make a single public acknowledgement until they had cleared every major medical hurdle, and were confident that the pregnancy was viable and progressing in a healthy direction. Chris, in particular, became fiercely protective. He managed Amy's schedule, her diet, and acted as a gatekeeper to ensure she had as stress-free an environment as possible. Chris was a rock. But more than that, he was a fortress. He knew this was his one and only chance to be a biological father, and he wasn't going to let anything jeopardize it. He cooked, he cleaned, he fielded calls. He told Amy, "Your only job is to be a safe harbor for our babies." He's been dreaming of being a dad his whole life, and you could see the love and the fear and the hope all warring in his eyes every single day. They told only a tiny, trusted circle. Her children, of course. And even those conversations were filled with emotion and complexity. They needed their family's support, not the world's opinion. The physical changes were becoming harder to hide. Amy stepped back from many public-facing events. Her online cooking segments became less frequent. When she did appear, she was often seated behind a kitchen island or wrapped in a cozy, oversized shawl. The fans noticed, but most attributed it to her simply enjoying a quieter life with Chris. No one dared to guess the real reason was so monumental. The true turning point, the moment they knew they might just pull off this miracle, came during the 20-week anatomy scan. They had already been through numerous tests, genetic screenings, extensive blood work, high-resolution ultrasounds. Each one was an agonizing wait for the phone to ring. But the 20-week scan was different. It was the halfway point. It was when they would get the most detailed look at their developing baby. What happened in that dark, quiet room, with the hum of the ultrasound machine filling the air, would change everything. Imagine the scene. Amy and Chris, holding hands so tightly their knuckles are white. They're watching the grainy, black and white image on the monitor, their hearts in their throats. The sonographer is moving the probe, taking measurements, her face a mask of professionalism. She confirms what they already knew. One healthy, strong heartbeat. A perfectly formed spine. 10 fingers and 10 toes. A wave of relief so powerful it almost brings them to tears. The doctor had given them the green light to finally be truly, openly happy. But then, the sonographer paused. She moved the probe to a different angle, her brow furrowed in concentration. According to our source, who heard the story directly from an emotional Amy, Chris was the first one to speak. He looked at the screen and whispered, "What is that? Is that an echo?" The sonographer turned to them, and for the first time, her professional demeanor broke into a wide, disbelieving smile. And she said the words that would forever alter the course of their lives. "No, Mr. Marek, that's not an echo. Congratulations, you have a second baby in there. You're having twins." The news of twins was a shockwave. A joyous, terrifying, world-altering shockwave. Their 1-in-a-million miracle had just been multiplied by 2. The source close to the family described the car ride home as a blur of laughter and tears. Amy said she just kept looking at Chris, and he was just staring straight ahead at the road with this big, goofy grin on his face, tears streaming down his cheeks. He just kept repeating, "2, Amy. 2. What are we gonna do with 2? And she would just laugh and cry right along with him. The fear was still there, of course. The risks were now even greater. But in that moment, the joy was so overwhelming, it eclipsed everything else. It felt like a sign from God, like this was truly meant to be. This was the moment they decided they had to share the news with the world, but on their own terms. They planned a special episode of Little People, Big World, a sit-down interview with just the 2 of them, in their own home, to tell their story. The filming was intimate and emotional. In the scene, Amy is wearing a beautiful, flowing emerald green top. She's visibly pregnant now. A soft, round belly that she rests her hands on lovingly throughout the interview. Chris is by her side, his arm protectively on the back of her chair. "You know, for a long time, I thought my chapter as a mother was complete. I have 4 beautiful, amazing children. I have wonderful grandchildren who are the light of my life. I felt so fulfilled. When Chris and I got married, we talked about it. We knew, given my age, that having children together was, well, it was a dream that probably wasn't going to come true. We accepted that. Our life together was going to be enough." Chris says, "I've always wanted to be a dad. It was the one thing missing in my life. But I love Amy. And being her husband, being a step-grandpa to her grandkids, that was a gift. I never, ever wanted her to feel like she wasn't enough for me, because she's everything to me. But deep down, did I still have that hope? That 1 in a billion chance? Yeah, I think I did. And then, it happened. It's still hard to say the words out loud. It doesn't feel real. To be able to look at my husband and tell him he's going to be a father, that was a moment I will cherish for the rest of my life. And then, for the doctor to tell us there are 2 heartbeats, it's the biggest blessing I could have ever imagined. It's scary, oh my goodness, it's terrifying. But it's a miracle. Our 2 little miracles." The announcement, once aired, would have been one of the most watched moments in reality television history. But the couple, in consultation with their doctors and family, made the difficult decision to hold the episode. The risks were still too high. They wanted to get to the 3rd trimester, to a point of viability, before sharing their journey. They chose safety and privacy over a television moment. a decision that speaks volumes about their priorities. A secret of this magnitude is impossible to keep from family. The Roloff children were among the first to know. The reactions were a complex tapestry of emotions: shock, concern, and ultimately, overwhelming joy. Zach and Tori, having navigated their own parenting journey with children who have achondroplasia, were uniquely positioned to understand the medical complexities. Their initial reaction, as described by our source, was one of stunned silence, followed by deep concern for their mother's health. Zach was quiet at first. You could see the wheels turning in his head. He was processing the risks, thinking about his mom's dwarfism, her age. He loves his mom fiercely, and his first instinct was to protect her. He had a million questions for her about her doctors, her health, the potential complications for the babies. Tori was right there with him, but she was also looking at the joy in Amy's eyes. She was the one who broke the silence and just said, "Oh my gosh, Mom, this is incredible," and gave her a huge hug. Once the initial shock wore off, they became two of Amy's biggest cheerleaders. Tori, in particular, has reportedly been a constant source of support, sharing her own experiences and helping Amy and Chris prepare for the unique challenges of raising children with the public watching. The idea of their children having two new, tiny aunts or uncles was a source of immense excitement. Jeremy and Audrey were equally floored. Known for their focus on intentional living and family values, the news was seen as a profound testament to faith and life's unexpected blessings. Jeremy's reaction was pure joy. He's always been very close to his mom. He just saw it as this beautiful, unbelievable gift. Audrey was immediately thinking about the legacy, about the story this tells. She apparently told Amy, "This is a story that will inspire millions of people." A story of hope. They were incredibly supportive from day one, offering to help in any way they could. But perhaps the most complex and, ultimately, the most heartwarming reaction came from the one person whose opinion the world was most curious about, Matt Roloff. Amy and Matt's relationship post-divorce has been a central theme of Little People, Big World for years. They've moved from bitterness and pain to a place of civil, and at times even warm co-grandparenting. But this news was different. This was Amy, his ex-wife of 30 years, starting a new family with another man. Amy reportedly chose to tell Matt in person. She and Chris invited Matt and Karen over to their home. Amy wanted to do it face-to-face. She felt she owed him that respect. There was so much history there. She was nervous. Chris was nervous. She just laid it all out. She told him she was pregnant and that she was having twins. And Matt, he just sat there for a full minute, completely silent. You could have heard a pin drop. What happened next is a moment that fans of the show have always hoped for, a moment of true healing and grace. Matt looked at Chris, not at Amy, but at Chris, and he said, "Chris, you are a good man, and you are going to be a great father." And then he looked at Amy, and he got emotional. He told her, "Ames, after everything, you deserve all the happiness in the world, and if this makes you happy, then I am happy for you, truly." He told her to be careful, to take care of herself. Karen was in tears, just saying how wonderful it was. It was a moment of complete closure and mutual respect. Matt even offered to help build a custom, accessible nursery for them. It was a bridge being rebuilt in a way no one ever thought possible. This single act of grace from Matt signified a new era for the Roloff family. The news of the twins wasn't a wedge. It was a unifying force. The entire, sprawling, complicated, and beautiful Roloff clan was coming together, ready to welcome the two newest members. Chris, looking focused and happy, carefully assembling two beautiful wooden cribs. Amy, sitting in a rocking chair, folding tiny baby clothes. The clothes are in neutral colors, yellows, greens, and soft grays. A close-up of two little pairs of matching booties. Shots of the nursery walls being painted a warm, calming sage green. Shelves being filled with classic children's books. And that brings us to today. Right now, Amy Roloff is in the final days of her pregnancy. She has been placed on mandatory bed rest as a precaution to give the twins every last possible moment to grow strong before their scheduled C-section delivery, which is just days away. Her home has been transformed. What was once a guest room is now a breathtakingly beautiful nursery, waiting for its occupants. A source who has seen the room described it to us. It's stunning. It's not over the top or gaudy. It's pure Amy. It's warm, cozy, and filled with love. The theme is very subtle, sort of the woodland creatures vibe. There are 2 beautiful dark wood cribs that Chris assembled himself. Matt actually came through on his promise and helped design and build a custom, lowered changing table that's perfectly accessible for Amy. It was a huge olive branch. The walls are this soft, gender-neutral green. And Tori and Audrey threw her the most beautiful, intimate baby shower 2 weeks ago. Ah yes, the baby shower. It was a top-secret event, held in Amy's own backyard to minimize her travel. It wasn't a grand affair for the cameras, but a small gathering of the family's closest friends and, of course, the Roloff women. Our source tells us it was an incredibly emotional day. Each of her children gave a small speech. Zach spoke of his mother's incredible strength. Jeremy talked about the power of family. Molly, ever the private one, expressed her simple, profound happiness for her mom. But the most tear-jerking moment came from Chris. He wasn't at the shower itself, as it was a ladies-only affair, but he appeared at the end to thank everyone. He brought Amy a bouquet of her favorite flowers. He stood there in front of everyone, and his voice just cracked. He looked at Amy and said, "I have loved you from the moment I met you. But watching you go through this, with such grace and strength, it's the most heroic thing I have ever witnessed. You have made my biggest dream come true, and you are doing it with a courage that astounds me every single day. I can't wait to hold our babies with you." There wasn't a dry eye in the place. Amy was just weeping with happiness. Now, in the quiet of their home, the final wait begins. The hospital go bag is packed. Times 2. 2 car seats are installed in Chris's truck. The nursery is silent, waiting for the sounds of 2 babies. Amy is, by all accounts, feeling the immense physical toll of carrying twins in her 60s, but her spirit is soaring. She spends her days reading, resting, and talking to her babies. Chris is in full super husband mode, catering to her every need, his excitement mixed with a palpable sense of loving anxiety. They are on the precipice, the end of a 9-month-long secret journey, and the beginning of an entirely new life. A life they never dared to dream of, filled with midnight feedings, lullabies, and the boundless love for the 2 souls they are about to meet. The impending birth of the Murrick twins is more than just a family event. It represents a seismic shift in the Roloff family legacy. For years, the narrative has been about the original family unit dissolving and branching out. Now, a new, central branch is sprouting, one that will forever intertwine the past with the future. These babies will have siblings who are old enough to be their parents. They will have nieces and nephews who are older than they are. They will be born into one of the most well-known families in reality television, a family that has redefined what it means to be different. What will their story be? Will they have achondroplasia like their mother? That is a question only time can answer. But one thing is certain, they will be born into a world of unconditional love and acceptance, championed by parents who fought against impossible odds to bring them into existence. They will be doted upon by a flock of adoring siblings and nieces and nephews. And they will have a father who has waited a lifetime to finally hold them. This entire, unbelievable journey, from the secret discovery to the emotional announcement and the final preparations, has been documented. A camera crew, sworn to secrecy, has been there for the key moments. We can exclusively report that the next season of Little People, Big World, will be the most emotional, most powerful, and most shocking season ever produced. It will follow Amy and Chris through every doctor's appointment, every scare, and every moment of joy, culminating in the birth of the twins. It is a story that will reaffirm the show's place in television history. As we finish this story, Amy Roloff is likely resting in her home, feeling the final kicks and flutters of the two lives inside her. She is on the verge of giving birth. The next time we speak of her, she will likely be a mother again, and Chris Marek will be a father. It is a testament to the fact that life is not linear, that happy endings can have sequels, that love can create miracles, and that sometimes the biggest blessings come in the smallest packages. In this case, 2 of them. From our entire team, we send our deepest, most heartfelt prayers and well wishes to Amy, Chris, and the entire Roloff family for a safe, healthy, and happy delivery. We, like the rest of the world, are waiting with bated breath to meet the new additions to this big, beautiful world. What do you think of this incredible news? What would you name the twins if you were Amy and Chris? Leave your messages of love and support for the family in the comments below. More update. Little People, Big World star Amy Roloff shares appreciation post for husband Chris Marek. Love you. Amy Roloff is thrilled to see Chris Marek, the Little People, Big World star, who is 60 years old, took a minute on Saturday to thank her husband of nearly 2 years. Along with several photos from their recent trip to Austin, Texas, Roloff thanked her husband on Instagram for allowing her to attend 2 events that she was genuinely thrilled about. Among the numerous incredible, delightful, and memorable parts of the event was being able to share the Austin TX, Lpbw National Conference, and DIA National Games with Chris. Under the photo's description, she made a passing reference to events hosted by the Dwarf Athletic Association of America and the Little People of America. Right now, there are people in me world who are somewhat similar to me. Continuing, she expressed her happiness that he has a good time and goes. It warms my heart to know that he has received such a warm welcome from everyone here at LP. He might have seemed awkward and out of place when I was with my own kind. Though that was not the case, she went on to say, Chris just seems to fit in with everything. That he enjoys accompanying me is a relief. I shall see you all at the next one I attend, and I have no doubt that Chris will be there as well. Chris Marek, I love you. Since their August 2021 wedding, Roloff has been chronicling their married life on social media. The mother of 4 documented a memorable date night with Marek in March with a photo essay she posted to her Instagram story. Along with Marek, she took fans on a tour of Portland's The Pocket Pub for lunch, saw Cirque du Soleil, and visited a local RV show, all while posting photos on her Instagram. She mentioned a charming pub in downtown Portland called Pocket Puptics after the RV show. Fantastic spot. Absolutely adored it. And nice evening out with my partner, Roloff captioned the image. They went to the Oregon Symphony concert together in May for another romantic evening. Along with a selfie with her spouse, her post featured an image of the orchestra performing on stage. With the description, "Fun evening at the Oregon Symphony with pals," Roloff shared the photo. I adore going on dates with Chris. Having an outdoor ceremony at Hillsboro, Oregon's Roloff Farms, the happy couple married the wedding in August 2021. According to the reality star, while the wedding day is indeed unique, the couple's marriage is a commitment for a lifetime. The thought that I will spend the remainder of my life with Chris brings a smile to my face. More update. Tensions rise. Amy Roloff denies accusations from Matt. Little People. Big World star Matt Roloff calls ex-wife Amy stubborn. I will explain everything. Little People. Big World spoilers indicate that Amy and Matt Roloff are feuding again in season 25. Despite the passage of time, spoilers suggest that the ex-couples may experience more tension if Amy and Matt spend an excessive amount of time together. Exes from Little People. Big World. These days, Amy and Matt Roloff get along famously. They are still very much involved in each other's lives, even if their marriage has ended. Along with their shared children and grandchildren, Karen Chandler and Chris Marek also join them when they spend time together. After all these years, it is still predictable that Matt and Amy will have an argument, even in the most current scenes of Little People, Big World. They are similar in that they both like to take charge and delegate tasks to others. Because of them, tensions rise amongst them. and the problem of too many hands in the pot becomes apparent. Spoilers for this week's episode of Little People. Big World indicate that tensions between Amy and Matt Roloff are evident right from the start, as they dispute again. In the sneak peek, we see Matt telling Chris Merrick that he is extremely furious at your wife, who is actually Amy. Even while TLC has been mum on the specific events that led up to this, we can all be sure that future scenarios with knives will be far more dramatic. Fans will have to tune in to this week's show to discover the specifics, but it is clear that Matt Roloff is pointing fingers at Amy. Matt Roloff, Amy Roloff, Chris Merrick, and Karen Chandler are collaborating on a fundraising for this season, and Roloff Farms will be the site. Their cruelty is on full display as the four of them work together to plan, organize, and execute this monumental event. In Little People, Big World spoilers, Amy Roloff says that she wants to make it absolutely apparent that she is innocent of whatever Matt Roloff accused her of doing as the animosity between the two ex-couples escalates. The future scenes show that Karen Chandler has no interest in interfering with the relationship between Matt and Amy. According to Karen, she has no interest in getting involved in the current argument. Fans of Little People, Big World can see why Amy and Matt Roloff's relationship did not last in these kinds of situations. There will be some intense sequences and dramatic moments because, even after all this time, one person still has a grudge and the other still feels bad about themselves. Stubborn is the word that Little People, Big World star Matt Roloff uses to describe his ex-wife Amy. Sitting next to him is Matt's ex-wife, who does not seem to find his comment funny. Amy is stubborn. Matt laughs. Doing things with your ex that you probably would not have considered. Plan a large charity event in the house you formerly lived in together. But TLC regulars Matt and Amy Roloff are dealing with it. The Dwarf Athletic Association of America, DAA, a nonprofit close to Matt and Amy's hearts, has been the beneficiary of Little People, Big World's 25th season's focus on fundraising. It was at a DAI event in 1986 when they actually met. Nonetheless, after their 2016 divorce, Matt and Amy went on to pursue other relationships. Chris Merrick is Amy's husband, while Karen Chandler is Matt's fiancée. Now that they have decided to fundraise, the four of them will need to work together. Before the show premiered on April 9, Distractify got a sneak peek. The tensions between these ex-couples are definitely on the rise. During season 25 of Little People, Big World, Amy has requested Matt's help in planning a fundraiser for the Dwarf Athletic Association of America at the Roloff Farms wedding barn. This event will feature an auction and a live band. Well, Amy has not even been a resident of Roloff Farms for a minute yet, and suddenly Matt has the whole property, with Karen's share coming in second. In spite of everything, the reality star is still leading, as shown in the exclusive clip from the April 9 program, which is up there. In a confessional, Matt says, Amy is stubborn. While laughing, Amy finds his comment hilarious, but does not think it is funny. Along with other things, she advises Matt that his red stagecoach needs to leave the barn immediately. He seems to be sick of his ex-wife Amy when he says, Amy wants me to relocate the stagecoach, and I do not think she has any clue on what goes into an event like this in a subsequent confessional. You need to have him move as much of that things out of here and do that. Amy tells Karen bluntly at the end of the film, and Karen responds with an oak. In keeping with his prior commitment to his mom, Jackson, son of Zach and Tori, will try to ride a horse in this episode. Is everyone's part going to go swimmingly? Let us know in the comments, and stay tuned by subscribing to our channel to get more updates like this. Thank you.